If Saturday isn't your busiest, most profitable day of the week, you're missing out on a massive opportunity, okay? Before I get into the full nuts and bolts of the video and before I explain how to design your Saturdays in your school, about 75-80% of people that watch the videos don't subscribe. So do me a favor, one martial artist to another, please just spend 2 seconds just hitting that subscribe button now for us, please. I'll give you 2 seconds now. One, two, give you a bonus one as well. Three. Thank you very much for subscribing. So, as I said at the start, really, if Saturdays isn't or aren't what I'd class as like your bread and butter day, your most profitable day, then you're designing your school wrong. Now, we've got to understand our target audience, our market. We're not running a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 type of job. You probably know that already. You need to make sure that obviously your lessons are during the evening times and also then at weekends, Saturday and or Sunday, depending on how you built your school. Now, during our most profitable days or years, should I say, we had classes running 7 days a week, and Saturday was by far the busiest, income producing day. Now, some of my mentees that I get to speak to when they first start working with me say, well, I don't have that much, I don't have that many members, I don't have a big enough active count to, warrant a full day of classes, which is absolutely fine. I understand that. Okay, we've all been in that position. However, we need to have it in our mindset, and especially as you're building up CITs and training instructors and so on, we need to have that mindset that Saturday is a bread and butter day. It's all hands on deck. Everybody's working on Saturday. Just like I suppose, in the retail industry, okay? So Saturdays and Sundays in these shopping centres and so on, those are generally the busiest days. So getting onto it then, you need to design your school so that you've got like a lesson for those that are on trial enrollment or the basic program, a lesson for those that are committed to black belt, what we class as masters and leadership student. You might even have two levels of those, again, depending on your active count. You then definitely, without a doubt, okay, definitely, this is how important this is. Make sure you're writing it down. You need an intro or consultation slot on that Saturday as well. That's the most important hour of the week, definitely. For those of you who are running full-time schools, which I'm sure most of you are, every day that your school is open, you should have a slot for intros, okay? Without a doubt. You're there anyway, your team's there anyway. There is no reason why you should only have one intro slot a week. So if somebody calls you up on a Sunday and says, I'm interested in attending, you definitely do not want to leave it another week until they can come down. In an ideal world, they'd be in that day, but if not, 24 hours later, 48 hours later, okay, maximum. So that's why I'd say, especially to my mentees, when they're designing the schedule, because most of the time it needs tweaking, that every day that they're open teaching lessons, there should be an intro slot available, because that's your new business. Those are the white belts that are going to come through, which are eventually going to renew up to a leadership level, then going to become your black belts, and then obviously they're your future instructors, your future senseis. So getting back to how your Saturday should look, you should have, I'll give you an example of what our ideal timetable was. Saturday mornings, we used to have 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock, which was Masters and Leadership students. Those were level 3s, which were like brown belts and above. Now, we'd organised or coordinated the timetable so that they could, most of them were CITs, stay behind then for what we class the intro slot straight after. So again, that's a really well crafted, coordinated slot where meet and greets are taking place with the students and the parents. You're speaking to them about the school and the massive benefits, finding out what they're looking to achieve and so on. So that's a super important hour. You're then obviously organising for them to come back for a second lesson following the intro. Now, going back to it then, so we'd have a master in leadership lesson, level 3s. Then after that, then straight away, maybe a 10 or 15-minute window to allow the school to look, fresh and so on. We'd have the consultation taking place, which is when new students are first visiting your school. Straight after that, then it depended on if we have a level 1 and 2 maths and leadership lesson, and then followed by a beginner's lesson, trial enrollment, and then last thing in the day before any events would be another consultation. But we only used to hold 2 consultations on Saturday if our marketing was firing on all cylinders and we'd have like 30 or 40 leads that particular week. Then after that second intro consultation of the Saturday, we'd then have an internal event. It might be an internal birthday party. It might be a pizza party or something like that. It might be a congratulations for committing to black belt party, a board breaking seminar, a self-defense seminar. Whatever label you give it, it's always about introducing new students to your school. making them aware that your school is there, this is what your school does, and obviously getting them booked in for a first lesson. So if your school now at the moment has an active count of 30, 40, 50 students, we need to make sure that first of all, first thing is to build that up to 100, 150 active students. Now again, it's easier than most people think. It's about understanding marketing, understanding the statistics that come with the marketing as well, and then obviously building your school and your timetable and the sales process, the enrollment process, to match that of the parents and that of your school as well. Once you can get up to that number and so on, we're then looking to tweak your timetable to allow classes to be evenly spread out, and again to allow you to have as less headache as possible. One of my great mentors told me our job is obviously to teach the art, pass on the knowledge, but it's to run a business which is as profitable as possible with giving you as little headache as possible. Now, just going on from that, if you haven't invested in a copy of my book on Amazon, I strongly suggest you do, okay? I think it's 12, 13, I don't know, maybe £14 off Amazon. How to Build a Highly Profitable Martial Arts School by me. Again, that isn't generic advice. That's tailored, specific, over 20 years worth of knowledge and about 10, 12 years worth of mentorships and um, informal education with business leaders and especially martial arts industry leaders on how to build a martial arts school, which is obviously what you're watching this video for. So I definitely invest in a copy of that. So hopefully you tick one, you've subscribed to this channel. Hopefully tick two, there you go. You're going to get on Amazon and invest in a copy of that. All right. I'm sure it'll land on your doorstep within a couple of days. And if you just bring in 1 point from that a week, your school will be in a massively different position within 3 months, 6 months, and definitely within a year, it'll be unrecognizable. So yeah, going back to it then, Saturday should be your bread and butter day, most profitable day. You need to make sure that, again, we've got a couple of different levels going on. We've got like a Masters in Leadership, those that are committed to black belt. First thing in the morning, about 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, whatever it is. Straight after that, those students then can help you with the most important hour of the week or most important hour of the day, your new students, your consultations, your intros that are coming in. Straight after that, again, depending on the size of your membership base, your active count, you could then have a Master in Leadership students levels 1 and 2 for those that have just committed to becoming a black belt, because that's a key in your retention, okay? If they're not committing to black belt, I could pretty much guarantee I'll know your income and your dropout rate if you're not getting them to commit to black belt. If you just show me a couple of figures, I'll know exactly how much your school is taking and how well it's doing, regardless of style or anything like that. Straight after that lesson, then you should have your beginners lessons, which is like your trial enrollment. Those that are just getting used to the school, just getting used to your syllabus, just getting used to the program and so on. Those are the ones that haven't as of yet committed to becoming black belts. And then again, if your marketing's firing on all cylinders, you're then going to have another consultation slot. Now you might think, well, why have we got 2 consultation slots? One of I suppose it's what I used to call the champagne problem. We'd have like 18, 20, 25 students attending the first ever lesson, and it became too much. Not for us delivering, because that's not a big number, but it was about us portraying the true value and managing to build rapport with parents. So we limited it to about 8 or 10, 12 students, and then we'd have another one in the afternoon. But we had 2 really, one earlier on in the day and one later on, to overcome any obstacles that parents had passed to us to say, oh, well, they've got football then, or they've got the swimming lesson then, I can't move it. Well, it's no problem, we've got one at 1:30. Should we book them in for that? Well, no, we can't do that one either because they go into the cousins. All right, no problem. Well, we've got one tomorrow morning, Sunday morning at 10:30. How's that one? Well, we can't do that because, and then again, I'm going to go to Monday. So if you're only holding one consultation slot a week, again, you're already leaving thousands of pounds on the table. That's one of the things I definitely help my mentees with. I hope you're finding some value from this video so far. Again, if any of my mentees are watching this, I can speak to you for hours on end during our group mentoring sessions, and some of you that have the one-to-ones with me, because I'm passionate and I know I can help you build your school, and I know what an ideal school looks like, okay? And then your internal, or should I say your lead generation events in the afternoon. In an ideal world, if you've got a big team, so there might be 4 or 5 full-time instructors, or there might be, just you and a few part-time helpers and so on. There may be an event in your town which you could be going to drum up interest for your martial arts school. So again, linking across to other videos that I've put out, linking across to the main things that I mentioned in that. Your job as a martial arts school owner is to, one, attract and enroll new students. Write that down if you haven't done so. It's to attract and enroll students. And number two is to keep hold of them forever. So you can't stay in your school all the time, cleaning the mats, polishing the mirrors, arranging the punch bags and the equipment and so on. You need to get out and let people know of your school and what you do and how much of an impact it has. Because I'm sure it does have a positive impact on people's lives and the students that you teach. If, again, on the internal event, it might be a ball breaking seminar, a goal setting seminar, a self defense seminar, what else could we do there? Like I said, a birthday party, a pizza party, anything like that. There's lots of things that you could hold in your school. And the number one aim is, again, to tick both of those boxes that I mentioned before. Number one, it should be to bring in new students to your school. That's the attracting and enrolling part. And number two, keep hold of students. So again, they should be having fun, they should be achieving things and so on. So I hope that's provided some value to anybody that's watching this. I'm just going to go over 3 points again now. Hopefully you've subscribed to this video. Please make sure you do. Okay, not this video, this channel. Number two, invest in a copy of that, How to Build a Highly Profitable Martial Arts School by me, Dervish. I help out martial arts school owners build successful businesses. And number three, if you are super serious and you're wanting to grow your school, okay, and you're sick of quiet classes, tumbleweeds in your beginner lessons, students dropping out, parents sometimes not being happy with everything, maybe possibly being bored of how it's all going, you don't really seem to see a light at the end of the tunnel, then you need to get involved. Get onto my website, dervish.com. Get onto dervish.com and obviously go for the martial arts school education page there and fill out the form. All right, we can have a quick chat, and I'm going to be honest with you, like I'm honest with most people. I think that's the best policy. I'll be able to tell you if I can help you or not. All right, and then we can take it from there. So again, quick recap: make sure you subscribed. Number two, make sure you're going to invest in a copy of the book. And number three, if you're serious, truly want to level up, and obviously being in a different position in 12 months' time rather than just on the hamster wheel, then you need to obviously apply for mentorship, get in touch, let's have a chat, and we can take it a step further forward there, all right? I only want to work with a few mentees because I want to make sure that the quality's there. I'm not one of these that fills out hundreds of people. I want to make sure that the quality's there and I've got a good idea of what each school's up to, what each instructor does, strengths and weaknesses and so on, and how I can help you. Listen, take care, everybody. Good luck. Make sure you subscribe. Invest in that book. Seriously, I get about £2-3 for investing in that book. So it's not because of the sales that I will get. It's more to help you. Okay. And three, if you're deciding to level up, then I can help you. Good luck, everybody. All the best.